part of why I thought of that was right near the end there. There's in Fear, there's this really easy to do sequence break where you're expected to use an elevator and there's like a dream sequence thingy or whatever before the next level, but one of the sides of the cage around the elevator has no collision, and it's really, really easy. Anybody could do it, to just jump up there and just jump through it and just fall straight down into the level trigger, the level change trigger. And I was thinking about that on top of, like, there's so many different spots that Fear tries to, kind of prevent you doing stuff out of order. But then there's also ones that, like, I'm not even sure if they're really on purpose or not. So for an example, when you find the Moody guy, I think it is, Mr. Moody, uh, you can actually jump from the handrail back into the vent opening that you get into the room from. And it's set up almost like one of these one-way drops that I feel like you're not supposed to be able to, but if you're in melee mode, so you move the fastest, you can make the jump. It's not that difficult. But then everything else in the room that you could sequence break is basically like clipped off, or like it doesn't have collision or whatever. And that was one of the things that annoyed me with Fear, that I feel is sort of like unique to Fear. I can't think of many other games I've seen do this, but there's all these one-way drops, right? One-way drops. And, of course, it also does what a lot of games do that I hate, where they, the door that magically permanently locks behind you type shit. There's this one part in Fear that I was playing it that, annoys the hell out of me. And it's just ridiculous to the extent they went with it. I'm pretty sure it's the very first turret section where you can control the turret. After that, there's this, like, counter or whatever you have to jump over, that the floor past it is a little bit lower, so it's just high enough that you can't get back over. Well, there was a point where I spent a decent amount of time trying to get a physics object over the counter. Like, I slide kicked one of the chairs or whatever the fuck over there and positioned it so I could actually jump back over the counter thing. I did the turret section and went over the counter, and whatever else I don't know if I did other shit first or just jumped right back over or whatever. But two things it did that was like just beyond ridiculous. So if and they also do this in the one part where you're trying to find Alice Wade. So with the turret sections, they only want you to use the turret on those enemies. Now with the Alice Wade thing, there's enemies after the turret section that they just won't come into that area. And I believe you actually can backtrack to that one normally. But with this one, whatever it was I did, after I got over the counter, I jumped back over with the physics prop I kicked over there. The the turret is deactivated. You can't even use it anymore. And then on top of that, they lock the fucking door out of the room. And it's like, it's like 3 fucking levels of inaccessibility. And it's like, dude, why? Right? Again, even if you want to put this stupid one-way drop, well, if the player is clever enough to find a way back over there, why not reward it? It's already stupid enough. Like, a lot of these games, Fear did it, Doom 3 does it, and it, they're amazing games, but they do stupid shit like this, where they'll just artificially wall you off from being able to backtrack to pick up weapons and ammo. And it's not so much the case in Doom 3. It's not the case either in Fear if you use the ammo glitch. But, ammo is sparse enough in Fear that, it's like, why do you want to stop me from picking up ammo whenever you're already, like, I don't know. But yeah, Fear has some weird spots where it's like these one-way drops. And I've even seen it where, like, one of the levels, there's a one-way drop, like a hallway before the level ends. What was the point of that? I don't know. But, like, part of my level design Bible, like, I seen a video talking about John Romero's, but it wasn't John Romero talking. But, I wrote something at a point. I've tried finding it, but I can't right now. But that's one of the big things for me. Like, if you're going to wall me off from doing something, at least make it believable. I'll even accept Like, for an example, oh, there's only certain doors of the building you can go through. Okay, well, then I'll just assume those are locked. But, okay, could I go through a locked door by other means? Sure, but fundamentally, it's a video game. Everything's limited in some way. It's not feasible to expect them to detail out an entire building just because you might go into one of the rooms or something. And of course, Fear does it where they actually do have a lot of empty rooms you can go in. Well, then everybody just complains about how much the same everything is, and oh, it's just all empty corridors or whatever. So it's one of those things like, they're going to bitch whether they get what they wanted or not, you know. But I'll accept that. Okay, the door is locked. Like, it's a little bit different from just having this otherwise accessible area, and it's like, why can I not walk through the door opening? And then, like in Doom 3, I did this a lot. It's like, why can I not make this jump or whatever? I'd turn on G, show collisions world or whatever, and sure enough, there's a fucking clip rush there. It's like, really? And this is something I meant to bring up a couple times now as well. Doom 3, so I can't find anybody saying anything about this, but the very start of Mars City Underground, where you get your pistol and flashlight or whatever, right at the start there's two armor shards that, as far as I can tell, are not accessible at all. Or if they are, I can't find any information on how to get them. And I even so much as loaded the area on different difficulties. Every single difficulty, there's a clip brush there. Like, and if you read anything, it says, oh, just jump up the pipes right there. It's like, dude, I can't. And I can literally check that there is a clip brush in the way preventing me. Like, what is there something else I'm like missing or something? I don't remember you ever being able to access those. Yet everything online will indicate that they're there. And yeah, I don't know, the stupid chat bots they love to put on search engines now. I love their stupid hallucinations, right? So if I try searching for this, they put it there without me wanting it there, right? Even DuckDuckGo does this. And it'll say, oh, well, there's these two armor shards on the thing. And it's like, the one that it's probably thinking of is the second scientist dude you'll see, or whatever they are, after you get, the gun and everything. Now, there's two that are like high up you can climb to. There's also two under, it's one or two under the stairs that, now once hell breaks loose, you can't get to them because the stairs are destroyed or whatever. But that's not what I'm talking about. Now, if I do a search for, the shards are inaccessible because there's a clip brush in the way, that same stupid chatbot will say, um, the thing is inaccessible, but yes, there is a clip brush there. Like, it's like it's just making it up on the spot. I just thought it was weird. Like, humans already just search for, something that gives the answer that they want it, right? You're like, what is the source that agrees with me, right? And it's like, now they just, it's like, to the point of these stupid chatbots will just copy your own search terms and just repeat it back to you. And how the exact same issue I was having with that, it's going to say that they are or aren't there based on, and I'm not using it. It's like it just pops up at the top of the search by default. My browser crashed and then it, you know, showed back up. Most of the time I just don't, you know, I don't feel like, using the time to change the settings. Not that it would take much effort. It's just like, whatever, I'm just doing the search and I'm already done with it. But it's kind of retarded, the types of bullshit it'll put there. But I mean, as far as I can tell, you cannot access those armor shards. But in my own levels, like, I might replay Quake 4, but Quake 4's got some bullshit like that. And, I've seen, I don't know if it was somebody with it or whatever, but they were saying something like that. Well, we don't want everybody just running or jumping past all the hard work we put in. It's like, well, dude, if they want to run past it, then your fucking hard work sucks. All right. Or maybe they want to run past it because it's fun to do that. Right. I mean, some of these games that, they find all the shortcuts, ways around it, 20 years later, they're still finding shortcuts. Are they really running past the game, or are they playing it the best way possible? I mean, if it wasn't a good game, I highly doubt there'd be speedrunners and all this shit, for 20, 30 years, right? But that's just, I can't think of a real reason to use clip brushes to prevent a player from accessing something. You can always collapse a wall or, I mean, even the door magically locking behind me, it's like, okay, whatever. It's like demons and stuff. All right, fine. You know what I mean? But at least come up with a justification. Some of it's ridiculous, like, oh, the killer slid the piano down the staircase, and like Condemned. I don't know. I do like the sort of immersive sim kind of stuff or walkathon stuff, and it's like you feel like, it's like in Condemned, you kind of shimmy between stuff, or I mean, it feels more like you're actually directly maneuvering through the world. I do like stuff to that, but it's like more susceptible to bullshit like that. But I mean, I would rather have the the plastic barricade that you could just walk around in real life. It's like, okay, well, just put that there. At least do something. But it's so annoying when, the inverse of that is when you feel like you found a clever shortcut, but it turns out that's the way you were supposed to go. That's like having to sneeze and then never sneezing, right? It's just like there's no payoff for it. And the games are already not that long in the first place. They're good enough length. There's enough stuff there. Yeah, like a lot of times you probably wish there was more there, but you'd probably wish that with anything you liked, right? But I really don't think that if these developers just didn't put the invisible walls bullshit on everything, that players would just skip everything, right? Like sometimes people showed up for the maze because they want to be in a maze, right? Even though I could just walk around it. Well, yeah, but they also showed up for an experience. Like, I mean, to some degree, it's a part of the journeys, the part of it or whatever, right? It's like I never really cared about like spoilers on movies or whatever, because just describing one aspect of the game, movie, whatever the fuck it is not a replacement for the experience of the totality of it. Like, all right, you already know how it's going to end, but I just don't see how that would affect the enjoyment other than, yep, I already know how this is going. I mean, you think about it, people replay the same game for 20, 30 years. I mean, they already know how that ends, right? I mean, they would have to. If they, you play a game for 30 years, you're probably already aware of what happens, right? I really don't think that if you let the player do whatever they want in the level, that they wouldn't still, oh, okay, see, this is the experience you want me to have with the game. Again, it's a linear sequence of scares, right? To make the Max Payne 2 and, of course, the, kind of horror movie, Halloween in July, whatever type trip I've been on. It's like a haunted house. You showed up because you want the exhilaration, right? You expect it to go through the route that was sort of, kind of prescribed, and have the things like jump out and go boo whenever they were, like scripted to or whatever. It's like, well, I mean, I could just, again, yeah, I could just walk around the haunted house. I mean, but that's not exactly the same experience though, is it? Right. So I feel, again, so it's one of those things. It's like, maybe it's obvious, but is it really? But yeah, the level design stuff, I don't know. I would do it more, but the main thing gets in my way is Hammer crashing so much. And something else I forgot to mention with Net Radiant. I mentioned before that Doom 3 doesn't have orthographic lights, orthographic projection, or also called parallel lights. Well, apparently it does. This sort of, shows proof of my experience through the years. So Net Radiant was one of the primary ways I used, to edit Doom 3 back in the day. Well, Net Radiant doesn't have access to the light inspector, like a lot of other, like Doom 3's own Radiant and then some of the other versions of it. Well, wasn't aware of that at the time. I knew Net Radiant couldn't show the shadows in the preview. But yeah, apparently this whole time it was capable of, in the light editor for Doom 3, it's called parallel lights. But that's what I'm talking. See, I learned something on shit that's over 20 years old that I've been fucking